Hello and welcome to a matinee edition of Punchlines with our special guest co-host Matt Neverett, ladies and gentlemen, is here. And welcome to the South Point Hotel and Casino. Behind us is the sports book. It was popping off last night. That's right. I just said popping off last night for Monday Night Football. And the show is called Punchlines. It's a mix of, a little comedy conversation, some gambling advice at 12:36 when we have some picks. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan. And today's show, well, we really don't have the rights to NFL footage, but we had a way to show the interception of the night, courtesy of Matt Neverett. All right, roll it in. Here we go. So this is Khalen Saunders, and that's a big man running. So we showed that version, and we also want you to meet who was talking. Well, first of all, Kevin Harlan was on the call. So, Matt, we love Kevin Harlan.
One of the best. I've never heard anybody describe a streaker in as much detail that he did that one time.
When the guy was at the 30th foot, he tackled him.
He's drunk.
All right, so here's Kevin Harlan. Now, just if you don't know, number 50 for the New Orleans Saints. He's a bigger man. Khalen Saunders. Here's his call on this pick.
That was a thick pick.
A thick pick.
It was a thick pick.
Now, there could be some announcers that might get in trouble for that, but Kevin Harlan can pull that off.
He's one of the few. Now, the only thing better is if he would have cribbed it, and then they could have said thick pick six.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so listen, this guy that they were talking about it, this guy who plays on the Saints, his brother is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift.
Now, they were talking about this the play before the interview. It was before.
Yes,
they called
I know. It's unbelievable. And they go, there he is. By the way, he got some oxygen right there in our thumbnail. That's hysterical. So anyway, one's a starter. The other's a backup dancer. They're brothers. Here we go.
Khalen Saunders, backup dancer for Taylor Swift. I would say he's my favorite backup dancer. I wouldn't say he's the most important one or anything because I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but or has a couple solos in there. He loves what he's doing, and I love it for him. So decided to watch him do it.
Now, usually when you're in the NFL, you're the most famous person in your family.
Yeah.
But the kid was at the game too. His brother was there, and he was on the sideline, and little kids are screaming, "Oh my God, I love you," because they know him from Taylor Swift. And I believe Taylor made an appearance at the game as well.
She was there. If you have any doubt, just watch for long enough, and they'll tell you one way or another if the game's at Arrowhead. Or sorry, GEHA Stadium.
Oh, it's not Arrowhead anymore.
I think it's Arrowhead Field, but they're calling the stadium GEHA, some insurance company. Yeah.
This has got to stop. This has got to stop. Now, when do we want to go to Jeff? And when do we have video? Do we have it now? Stand by. Okay, so we didn't. I got a phone call right before the show from Jeff Parles, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, why is Jeff calling me? I don't know why. It turns out he is at Citi Field in New York for the Mets playoff game. I go, you didn't tell anybody? He goes, no, I kept it on the down low. He flew out last night on a red eye, and he met his dad, and he's at the Mets game.
Now, doesn't he know he's not allowed to call you outside of the studio?
I don't know.
That's been a long-established rule.
I saw his name pop up. I'm like, oh, don't touch the phone. I don't want to accidentally hit answer. But I answered, and Jeff's like, do you want anything from Citi Field? I didn't know. So
I thought he was talking about concessions.
Yeah,
to be quite honest.
Actually, so did I. I'm like, does he want to know if I want a Mr. Met stuffed plushie or something?
I'd ask for one of the campfire milkshakes from Chicago, but the White Sox are long done.
And brought the glass back. I mean, we got to give her that.
That's all that matters.
That's
really.
The glass right there with the picture of Larry Bird.
Most valuable White Sox this year.
It was. So we have a video from Jeff Parles. This just happened. Phillies Mets. Here we go.
Punchies. Jeff Parles here from the Citi Field parking lot. Yes.
So scenic.
Game 3 coming up about 2 hours. I have some stuff for you here throughout the day.
Oh, my God. That's awesome. He's there with his dad who watches the show, Craig.
We have a Mets correspondent now.
We have a Mets correspondent. If you are a fan and you're in our Punchlines chat room, which we'll get to you guys in roll call in a minute, you want to be a correspondent and shoot video at a sporting event in your town, we're all for it.
And I'm seeing the Mets right now as a very, very slight dog at home over the Phillies on the sheet.
Now, I know it's Aaron Nola for the Phillies, right?
Yep. And Philly laying 109. The Mets catching the minus 101. Still has a dog with the minus money next to him, yeah.
Aaron Nola, I think every time I've bet Aaron Nola this year, I went the wrong way. Like, I'm like, oh, he's on a roll.
Yeah.
I don't. Loss, gets shelled. Then I'm like, I'm going against Aaron Nola. Against Boston. I had him against the Red Sox.
Yeah.
They got lit up.
He's going to get Sean Manaea today. That game does get started literally in just over 2 hours, like Jeff had said.
Sean Manaea, once again, every time that name's brought up, I have to point out, threw a no-hitter for the Oakland A's against the Red Sox.
Yep.
And I know this Because I bet on the Red Sox that night. So
what is it with you and the Red Sox?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I bet the Red Sox to win, and they got no hit. And it was my cousin's daughter's birthday, and I was just checking my phone. I'm like, oh, they haven't scored. Oh, they don't have a hit, and they're no hit. Okay, There you go. And then I couldn't get her a present for her birthday. Anyway, Jeff's at the game. He says he's going to send some stuff. So if we get some more stuff during the show, we'll show it.
Keep an eye out, yeah.
I've never been to that field. Have you?
I have not. My dad said it's one of his favorite new ones. The old one was okay, actually. Shea Stadium, he said, yeah. The stadium left a little bit to be desired, but I guess the press accommodations were good.
Okay, that's all. That's what's important.
Of course.
Yeah, I honestly went to Shea once in late 80s, early 90s, and it was bad.
Yeah.
I
even
mean, it was
then.
just the planes flying over, but they're like, no, you're like deer. You get used to it. I'm like, I don't know how players can be in the batter's box trying to concentrate, and there's planes coming in.
UNLV's baseball field is like that.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about UNLV. First of all, let's point out that Matt Neverett, not only the voice of the UNLV Rebels football team, but just last week we saw a tweet that you put out there. We didn't know this was coming. You have also been named the UNLV basketball play-by-play man. Yay, Matt.
Yeah. Super excited
Congrats.
for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Should be fun. Team coming off of an NIT appearance last year. First postseason appearance for them in quite a while. But, it's going to be busy, the little crossover between football and basketball season. But,
Excuse me.
That's why we do what we do, baby.
And I realize this, that you've called games for the AAA Aviators, AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's here in Vegas. You've done your football, and you've done you'll be doing baseball, football, and basketball all within 3 months.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty good. When's hockey? What about hockey?
I've done a lot of hockey in the past. I love doing hockey.
Hard?
Hockey's very hard.
Because I know you grew up, Mike Lang is who I grew up with, Penguins, and he's one of the best ever.
Isn't that right, Rupper?
I mean, buy Sam this dog.
Buy me a milkshake, Malkin.
Buy Sam's dog a drink. He had all these crazy sayings. But hockey seems like, I mean, you got to follow the puck.
Yep.
And the play is just so fast.
And you get used to it, and it makes it easier if you have a team that really sticks to their lines. Sometimes you'll get teams like the Penguins, because they are older, they've got the stars, they've got guys that are trusted. They can, stay on a little bit later, come in a little bit later if they want. A lot of the hockey that I've done was like juniors, kind of between high school and college, where when your line is off, you better get the hell off the ice, or your coach is going to be all over you. So that's easy. You just go, 14's there. Who is line mates on this chart? Oh, yeah, those guys are on there because they'll get yelled at.
We're very disappointed you haven't done all 4 sports within 1 calendar year. So someone call him, says needs a hockey job.
Lazy.
You're just lazy. You only got 3 sports going on. Speaking of college sports, by the way, UNLV, they did have their first loss last week against the Orangemen. I watched the game on Friday night.
In overtime against Syracuse, that was a back and forth game. I try as a broadcaster to stay objective.
Okay.
Not to hammer the referees. I do everything in my power.
Right.
Because there's so many other guys that do in my profession.
Right.
Just kill the referees. For better or worse, referees were awful in that game on Friday. A couple of really, really late penalties, some inconsistent calls, a lot of penalties on third down defensively going against UNLV. And then there was a roughing the passer call in overtime that basically handed Syracuse the game,
Now, they're no longer undefeated, but we do have a list of undefeated college teams that you wanted to show. A lot of them lost this past week. So go ahead. Here we go.
7 undefeated teams fell this week in college football. And, you'll see the list of the teams that are still undefeated. Teams that lost: Alabama, Duke, James Madison, Missouri, Rutgers, Tennessee, UNLV. That's actually a pretty good list of teams all falling last weekend. So there's 12 undefeated teams left. And then just in the order that it is on here, we got Army, BYU, Indiana, Iowa State, Liberty, Miami, Navy, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Penn State, and Pitt.
Yeah!
I was going to read that
like,
last.
Boo, Pitt. You were going alphabetical. I'm like, he went right by Pitt. Oh, my God.
Darn right I did.
You'll notice that Alabama lost the game. They had their first loss in Vanderbilt, which is a perfect segue into our comedy clip of the day. Matt, you found this last night.
I was dying.
Now that Matt goes, hey, I got this clip showing the Vanderbilt students throwing the goalpost in the river. And I'm like, well, we showed a bunch yesterday. He goes, oh, no. You have not seen this.
I haven't seen this angle yet.
All right, so here's our comedy clip of the day. This is thermal imaging.
From the police helicopter.
From the police. So they're watching everybody, and you can see the goalpost. I mean, I know as soon as I sent this clip, I'm like, is this one of those war clips that ends really bad that I don't want to watch?
Live
it really
leak.
did. Right? I thought it was like, these people are all going to... There's
look
people
at that.
falling on top of each other. You know the cops are howling. There's the goalpost.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do if you're the cops? You can't do anything.
Now, what are you going to arrest?
They traveled that thing 3 miles. It took them an hour.
3 miles. It took them a while. Then they threw it in.
It took them 57 minutes from uprooting it to putting it in the water.
That's a good mile when you're hammered. And then I asked people, I said, man, I wondered, does someone have to dive in and get that? Like, for
there is footage.
Environmental. Yeah, there was some like firemen or have to pull it out. And this is why Vanderbilt got billed $100,000.
Oh, they'd pay that any day of the
They'll
week.
pay it to beat Alabama.
Absolutely.
That's worth millions.
You get fined if you storm the field.
Right.
The conference, the SEC actually is really, really strict about
Yeah,
it.
Arkansas got
compared to some other conferences. Vanderbilt will pay that fine 10 days a week out of 7.
It's the first time in 40 years that they had beaten that team. And you know who told us that the goalpost got pulled out? It was JR from the ballpark, Johnny.
JR, he's all over it.
He's always in the chat room. So let's go do roll call right now and see if he's there today. Of course he is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so the question, since we had Matt Neverett here and we were announcing on the show that he will be doing the Running Rebels basketball team play-by-play. I said, hey, who were your all-time favorite? Okay, now I'm looking at Matt Neverett first. Keith Jackson.
Yep.
Every time we say the word college football, you have to say college football.
College football.
You have to say it like Keith Jackson. That was Saturdays to me.
I just love the accent. He was my dad's favorite growing up, so I was subjected to a lot of his calls as a kid. When it'd be really rainy, oh, baby, it's a gully washer. It's time for the granddaddy of them all here at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
There was only 4 or 5 voices. Now, JR has included as his second choice, or as 1A choice, my favorite. He has Dick Enberg.
Yeah.
I love Dick Enberg. I think Dick Enberg did a lot of San Diego sports.
He did.
Right? Towards the end, he did Padre games and stuff.
For a long time, he did Padre games, yeah.
Dick Enberg was the voice on NBC when I was a kid. He was my favorite. In my life, I wrote 2 fan letters to celebrities.
Oh, you told us about one of them.
I wrote Dick Enberg and I wrote Billy Crystal.
You told us about Billy Crystal.
Neither one responded. I was a little heartbroken. I wrote a really long one to Billy Crystal using jokes and lines. I don't know if I just mailed it to Billy Crystal, New York City. I don't know. Or Saturday Night Live. I don't know. But
sometimes even Santa writes you back. Come on.
So Billy Crystal, I'm waiting. Dick Enberg's family, I'm waiting. Who else do we have in there?
Might not be getting one from Dick anytime soon.
Keith Lyle, favorite other than Matt Neverett? Yes, Keith Lyle says Howard Cosell.
Yep.
Polarizing. You either loved him or hate him, but again, I grew up with him, hating him.
I liked him better drunk.
Yeah. Well, Don Meredith and all those guys. JR, the Mannings were on with their dad last night, and the fourth quarter was phenomenal. I forgot that the Manning cast was on.
Now, how do you feel overall about the Manning cast?
Now, I'm a big fan of it. I know a lot of people don't like it. I think it's great because you're getting insight from 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. And I think it's fascinating, and they have guests come in. I'm fine with it. I love it.
I think people, and I'm a fan, I hated the Mannings as players, as a Patriots fan.
Exactly, yes.
One of the biggest turnarounds, at least personally for me, from playing career to post-playing career. I think they're great. They're starting to get some real good production value on a lot of the stuff that they do as well. But people are judging it as if it's another kind of broadcast. Now, it is an alternate broadcast. It's basically a live podcast.
Yeah, it's what it is.
You're not going to get like, oh, who was that made the tackle?
No.
It's going to be fun stuff, and Bill Belichick making fun of Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And, I love the guests. I love how they kind of advertise it a la Saturday Night Live ahead of time on like the bulletin board. They lay it out.
The little post-its,
I love the things that they do, and of
Tremendous.
course, and now that they're doing Bill Belichick every game, I like it even more.
I agree. Dean Hilt. Only old guys will know this. Lindsey Nelson always did the Sun Bowl and worked for CBS. I remember the name, Lindsey Nelson. Yeah, I remember that name in the Sun Bowl. Pitt actually played in the Sun Bowl one New Year's Day, and the final score was 3-0.
Wow.
It's about 15 years ago.
El Paso.
It was
newest
the worst
member
game.
of the Mountain West Conference.
There, see, this is why we have Matt here. Also, Vince right here. Always enjoyed Tom Hammond during the Olympics and the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah. He's a good one. And how about Minidar? I know Keith Lyle likes this one. He said play-by-play. Anyone but John Schifrin.
Yeah, that one I don't get. Is that a White Sox guy?
That's the new White Sox announcer, yeah.
All right. I was going to ask, what is that?
Keith has been trying to get me his job all year long.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy. We're going to get you the White Sox job, and then you can bring us all campfire milkshakes.
Win or lose, I get paid the same.
Exactly. All right, Punchies, thank you for watching. Punchies, thank you for watching and always being there. If you are watching the show for the first time, just click subscribe, and in 5 minutes, you can be in the chat room and join the fun. All right, next up, it's time for Lines of the Night, ladies and gentlemen. We roll out the black and gold. There it is. Oh, God. Made me think of the Steeler game. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. Lines of the Night, what do you have for us, Matt Neverett?
We're going baseball.
Baseball.
We're going playoffs. And we're going history. It's something that is never happened before. And
anytime that starts, yes, it's major. First time in Major League Baseball history, you know it's impressive.
100%. We were talking about it me and my brothers last night hanging out in terms of the Steelers game about how it was the first game ever to go after midnight because of the delay. And I'm like, how has that never happened before? I think the same thing with baseball all the time, especially because they've been playing it twice as long.
Right.
If something hasn't happened yet, that means it is really, really historic.
Like when Jeter hit a homer in November after midnight. I was watching that game in Miami. That was something. But this is some Major League Baseball history.
This is Major League, and it's one thing to be like, oh, Shohei Ohtani has the most postseason home runs, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they play like 8 extra games now in the playoffs, but this one does go back far enough. It's the first time ever after last night's results that all 4 division series are tied at a game at a piece. I'm just surprised that hasn't happened.
Yeah, that's really amazing.
In this layout.
How does that not happen?
All it took was Kerry Carpenter.
Get off of Class A?
First 3-run home run that Class A has allowed on the year. It's more runs than he's given up in a single game at any point this year.
And when the ball was hit, the whole stadium went, oh. I just took the air out of the stadium because you're like, oh, this is basically, he's going to be second in the Cy Young, probably behind Skubal.
Yeah.
I mean, he really should be. Who was it his teammate said he's better than Mariano when you put the numbers up there in his first couple? I know. You got it. There's longevity issues there.
There is.
But someone on his team was like, oh, he's Mariano.
It wasn't Jose Ramirez, was it?
It might have been.
It might have been J-Ram.
It might have been.
But yeah, all these series are close, and realistically, like, you couldn't pick a winner in most of these right now. Like, we'll know Philly and Mets here in about 2 hours. I think that's a pretty even pitching matchup. I like Philly today, just kind of a lean. Dodgers, Padres, who knows which Dodgers offense we're going to get. So the
Dodgers are dogs, by the way, not to use the Dodger dog.
Yeah.
But they sorry, they are underdogs. I don't know. We'll get to that. We'll talk about picks.
There's a chance both of those series are over tomorrow because those 2 teams play today and tomorrow.
Could be.
There's a chance.
Jeff Parles is going to bring home a victory for the Mets, I feel. We'll see.
Go.
We'll check in with Jeff maybe later on. All right, my line of the night. I feel bad now because mine, you're like, oh, when Shohei has the most homers because they play so many games. Well, mine's kind of based on that.
I just threw a name out.
All right, K's dismissed for Judge. So Aaron Judge, highest postseason. K's dismissed for Judge. Wait, why?
Case dismissed.
Oh, K's.
We
gotta do it. K's dismissed.
That's why we do what we do, everybody.
That's what we do.
Thank you.
Now, listen, there's a lot being made about Aaron Judge struggles, but I had no idea. He has the highest postseason strikeout rate all time.
Yep.
Minimum 200 plate appearances. He's at the top of the list. Then you got Martin Maldonado, Cody Bellinger. I mean, these are free swingers. Reggie Sanders, one-time Pirate, Red, and about 8 other teams.
Yeah, take a pick.
And Mike Napoli. Aaron Judge, 34% of the time. He's hitting .208 with 37 hits, 13 homers, 24 RBIs. 30 runs scored in 46 post games in his career. So this is where...
That's a big enough sample size.
This is Barry Bonds had his issues.
Yeah. Mookie Betts is another one. I was going to put something together to kind of juxtapose his struggles, but
we did Mookie yesterday, 0 for his last 22. I don't know if it's documented. Someone had 6 for his last 66. I don't know if that's true. But
no, he was robbed of the home run by Jurickson.
He was robbed for the home run.
One of the best troll jobs I've ever seen.
One of the best, but unbelievable. Of course, it happened to Mookie.
No wonder they were throwing stuff at him.
Yes. And then he came over and gave the guy a ball that he stole from, and the guy threw it right back on the field, starting that craziness.
It's one thing if you're a drunk college kid to do that.
That wasn't, yeah.
He's sitting there with his kid. Give the ball to your kid. He's not going to remember in a year who gave it to you.
And by the way, we had found a rule in the NFL, and I think, were you here? The 2-year, you can't trade a player back to a team.
Last week.
That was last week. Like the Steelers, Deontay Johnson. If they wanted him back from the Panthers, can't do it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Really unknown rule. An unknown rule in baseball that we were going back and forth last night was if a delay at a home game for the Dodgers, say that delay would have went 15 minutes, it's a forfeit.
I think the only time we've ever seen that one enacted was Disco Demolition.
Demolition.
It may not be the only. That's
Chicago,
the only one that I can think
That's
of.
the one I think of too.
Yeah, it's one of those rules. I texted you back and said it's one of those like you hear about the blue laws, like no eating ice cream in the bathtub on a Sunday, like one of those laws back.
You can't have chickens.
There's a rule in the Major League Playbook that you're not allowed to. The word is fraternize with a player in an opposing jersey on the field. We see that all the time.
You know, and I've talked about this before. I don't like I know they all have the same agent. They're all doing stuff. Yeah. But when I was a kid, you didn't talk to the other team at any point. Ugh.
It's whatever. I mean,
it's all right now, I guess.
Did you see? I saw Matt Boyd and Tarek Skubal after dueling the other night.
It was a great game.
Really, really good friends because of Boyd's time in the Detroit organization. Yeah. They left the stadium together. There was a picture of them, too, just like walking, and somebody was showing something to the other on the phone, but it's just two buddies. Now, that's off the field.
Yeah. You never saw Pete Rose walk out of the stadium with Reggie Jackson.
Maybe that's best. Maybe that's for Reggie, I think that's probably for the best, yeah.
He wasn't handing him
one
a
of them still
bar.
here, yeah.
All right, lines of the night are done. All right, let's move on. Let's get to the Punch Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. Yay, Punch Bowl pundits. There's the soothing music. And do we have anything else from Jeff yet? What's Jeff doing? Jeff, we need more footage. He's there with his dad. That's very sweet. That is, it's like, is this one of the stadiums that goes down? Because I'm guessing that's the top of the stadium and it's not very high.
It doesn't look like it goes down. One that is like that, that's kind of interesting, is Coors Field in Denver.
Oh, I remember the old...
Yeah, Mile High.
Yeah, Mile High,
which is where the football stadium is now.
Right.
But yeah, Coors Field is more like right in downtown.
Oh.
Not near the amusement park. Yeah, Lodo area.
Lower
lower downtown.
I've had some good times
My
there.
dad's buddy owns a couple bars down there, so it's a really fun area.
It's very fun. And if you have Denny Nagel take you out, it's even more fun.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what I hear.
All right, go to the Punch Bowl.
That is what I hear. We're going to the
Punch Bowl pundits, ladies and gentlemen. These are some hot topics that we can talk about, get some input. And by the way, Punchies, jump right in. Mini Dar, what if there's a fake homer causing the delay? Well, that wasn't the... Hold on. JR, love Reggie Sanders' bum. He K'd 9 times in 13 at-bats in 3 games versus the Braves in the 95 playoff series. JR, we're going to have you on the show soon. All right, what do you got first?
We have to. All right. It was one that was addressed to me, so it's good I pulled this
perfect.
one. What do you, Matt, in case there's a comma, at least you're using grammar, think of Manny Machado's throw into the Dodger dugout?
Okay, we were just talking about baseball and the Dodgers and the delay. There's video has finally emerged.
It didn't come out till like this morning.
Yeah, right.
Now
And
it's if the back and forth, let's just say, had not happened prior, you wonder if this would even be an issue. Typically, between the innings, first baseman will have a ball, rolling grounders to the infield. They stay warm, they keep the arms loose. And then afterwards, in every level before professional baseball, you always just kind of throw it back to your own dugout.
Yeah.
In pro ball, they just throw it into the seats. It's whatever.
Right.
9 times out of 10, you throw it towards the home dugout because the bat boys will grab it. Bat boys will take care of it, do what they're going to do with them. This one had some intent. Manny Machado, who was playing third base, Dodgers dugout was on the third base side. John back and forth with Jack Flaherty, with Dave Roberts, with a couple other players on the team. He just takes the ball and normally you just kind of
loop it in.
There's a net, the netting. You just kind of make it like a backboard.
Right.
He fired that thing pretty close to a couple of the Dodgers players.
Did. And Dave Roberts was like, "Thank God there was a screen protecting me. It might have hit me." It's like, all right.
Now I wonder what would have happened if he would have pelted somebody. Like if he hit Jack Flaherty square in the shoulder. I think we might have seen a Amir Garrett Pirates situation.
When he takes on the whole team?
Where one guy just gets his ass kicked by the whole dugout.
I'm fighting a cold, by the way. I'm sorry, I'm coughing, ladies.
Everybody's fighting, apparently.
Apparently.
Manny Machado. No, a postseason benches clearing brawl.
Yeah. Then you suspend half the roster.
That'd be awesome.
George Brett, yeah, but if I believe no one got kicked out of that game.
Different age.
We talked about, you sent me the clip. You posted a clip when I was talking about the Royals and Yankees in the 70s, had some great series. He slid into third, and he and Craig Nettles got into a full-on fist fight.
Yeah.
And then the other side, all right, boys, being boys, let's play ball, guys. They'd be suspended for the rest of the season. No one was suspended.
Even NHL players don't fight in the playoffs. That's just not a thing.
Yeah.
So in baseball, for that to happen, that'd be awesome. If there were 2 teams for it to happen right now, it'd be the Dodgers and the Padres, because the fans just fight throughout the entire game in the parking lot afterwards. There's some great stuff on Twitter.
I saw that. I know what you're talking about at Dodger Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight in San Diego, that atmosphere is going to be so intense.
Bring your weapons of choice.
It's the night game. I mean, there's nothing else. What is it? Tuesday? There's nothing
Tuesday night in San Diego.
What's on? Happy Days in Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah. Mork and Mindy.
Tuesdays was Happy Days. It was Laverne and Shirley. Then Three's Company.
Wow.
And then a 9:30 show, Too Close for Comfort, maybe, with Ted Knight.
That rotating time slot that never seems to find one.
Yeah, exactly. That one did all right for a while, but Happy Days in Laverne and Shirley is Tuesday night. And the A-Team was on Tuesday nights. True story. I'm going to tell you a true story. I was watching the A-Team, and during the half-hour break, I would run and take like a 3-minute shower for school the next day, and I'd come back, and I said this out loud to myself watching the A-Team at about 12 years old. Man, this show's never going off the air. I'm like, it's so well done. It's so believable. No one ever got killed. They never won because they were like outlaws, and they'd shoot down a helicopter, and the helicopter would crash, and then you'd be like, oh my God, they died in a helicopter crash. But then they'd show the guys getting out of the helicopter like this, like, oh, I'm dizzy.
Running away,
because they couldn't kill anybody.
That's so funny.
The A-Team. All right, I'm going to pick one.
That was, pre...
okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Paul sent me this morning. What do you think of these new Laker jerseys dubbed the Lake Show? Do you have that one?
We
Ed,
do
or-
have those ones, yeah.
Yeah, we do have it. So this is an alternate jersey. You know we love the alternate jerseys on the. Oh, look at those.
I like it.
I think those are cool. Look, purple and whatever. What are they called? Is it Laker Gold?
Laker Gold, something gold. It looks good.
What's the purple? They call it Royal. Oh, I should know this. JR's probably going to know. But anyway, I like those uniforms a lot. The Lake Show. Those are cool. And they got Austin Reeves and LeBron. I noticed there's no Bronny picture. Bronny is not pictured in one of those uniforms.
Yeah, it turns out you got to score a point in the NBA before they
Did he go 0 for 5 or something the other
Something
night?
like
in his
that.
first preseason game? He's not.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
Somebody posted a picture and
Matt
it
just
was
looked
like
at me. That was the weird. Matt just looked at me and went, get used to it.
there was a picture of Michael Jordan's oldest son, Marcus,
Okay.
who's the one that was dating Larsa Pippen, and he's got some interesting
yeah.
personal things going on. He was over in Europe, and he may have been putting something in his nose while at a lunch, and they put a picture of him next to Bronny James, and they're like, MJ's son versus LeBron's son. Who's the real GOAT now? And it's like, okay, calm down.
All right, Matt, go for another one here.
Calm down.
Calm down. The famous Rose Harrelson Red Mets. Yeah, that dust up in 73.
Hey, at least
That's
Marcus
another good
Jordan
one.
was decent in college when he played at UCF.
Who did?
Marcus Jordan played at UCF.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was at least decent.
Okay. LeBron.
Bronny
He's
was
an
what I-
NBAer. He's a guaranteed contract.
Yep.
It's insane.
Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Yeah, see, I had to start out in
Wait.
single A ball. I had to start out in single A,
Wait,
damn
your
it.
dad's an announcer. Hold on one second.
Yeah, I started in the Florida State League.
There you go.
I was making $1,200 a month.
Any gator encounters down there?
Yeah, when I was golfing. Also, that whole area is about to get crushed by the Hurricane Milton.
Oh.
Bradenton, Sarasota, Tampa
Oh,
area.
no.
So, yeah, I've checked in with some friends, and some have evacuated, some are hunkering down, which is the most Florida thing ever, that there's a divide on that. That is.
That's funny.
Half of Florida's like, oh, no, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Right.
And half of them are like, nope,
I'm staying.
Joe Biden can't make me leave. I digress. Who starts at quarterback for the Steelers this week in Las Vegas?
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll preface this by saying Russell Wilson is they're completely healthy, they're saying. So
He's been in full uni the last 5 weeks.
I know. It's in
We
full
know his shoulder
uniform.
pads fit.
Now, Justin Fields went 3-0. He's lost 2 games. Again, the defense couldn't stop anybody on Sunday Night Football. But you need to know what you have with Russell Wilson. What's your idea?
I mean, if they would have won that game, if they would have found a way to pull that game out,
right.
which they very well should have, it would be no question in my mind.
I know.
You have to go with Fields. I think you give him one more. I think you give him one more week against a Raiders team that's scuffling. I think if they beat the Steelers or if they beat the Raiders this week on the road,
Right.
gives you that
4
vote of
and 2.
confidence moving forward, especially
Yeah.
if he has even a decent game, not even
Yeah.
a great game. I think you got to give him one more week. Now, if he starts and he sucks, I don't think you pull him mid-game either.
I don't think they will.
I think you
Tomlin
have
would do
to
that.
go and say, hey, this is our guy, win or lose, and then you make that decision after the game.
It's going to be interesting. I think Field starts as well, but I don't think
It's
he'd
a
give
good
him
problem to
heart.
have.
It's not
like
bad.
the Raiders, if Minshew gets hurt and O'Connell's your guy, like who's the backup? At least for the Steelers, you've got 2 legitimate options ready to
But
go.
if you have 2 quarterbacks,
don't have one.
you don't have one.
There you go. Hey,
All right.
that only counts if you're going back and forth. It's been Fields or bust so far.
That's true. Okay, this is going. Walker Bueller. Bueller. Who's pitching for the Dodgers today, I believe. Is he not?
Today, yeah.
I believe against Michael King, right?
Yep.
Okay, so it's Bueller. Walker Bueller got mugged at Santa Anita yesterday. Santa Anita is a very nice track.
One of
and a
Dwayne
good
Colucci's
area.
favorites.
It's my favorite track. I used to go all the time. They took a $100,000 watch. How will that affect his timing
Oh, I knew it. I knew
on
it was
the mound
coming.
today in San Diego? How do you think he plays? So anyway, we can talk Dodgers, Padres. But first of all, why are you going to a racetrack with a $100,000 watch?
Isn't that the place to go with him?
I guess that's where you want to
Isn't
show
that the
off.
ones
isn't
like
it?
got the crazy hats?
This is true.
No, I heard it described as a mob.
Is that what happened?
I heard it described as a mob of people that like basically just joined up on him and were like, "Give me the watch."
Okay, so this is upsetting. So he's got to pitch like the next day.
That's
or
like
2
first
days
degree.
later.
That's like
Yeah.
pre-planned.
Yeah, exactly. So 2 days later, he's on the mound in the biggest game
One of them
of his life, maybe
up
one
there.
of the biggest.
Now,
up
how
there.
many people in a mob do you think it would take to get a watch from you?
A lot, because I don't wear a watch. The last time I wore a watch, this is true, it was a Swatch.
Wow. Go buy a watch.
When
so
I
we can
first
steal it from
started
you.
stand-up, I would wear swatches, but then I'm like, I developed such a good sense of timing
Yeah.
that I knew when I had to be on or off. But I don't wear a lot of
I'm
jewelry
just a
that you
Apple
can
Watch
see.
guy, but I have like the small one. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Anyway, Walker Buehler, good luck. I mean, he's going against Michael King, who that performance he had last week was ridiculous.
At least Bueller
12
has the
strikeouts.
ultimate excuse if he pitches badly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was robbed.
I got mugged.
I'm down 100 G's. Come on, and then I lost all my horse bets. Yeah, he's down six figures, and that's before he started gambling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, at least he had a better weekend there than Wes Welker did that one time.
What happened with Wes Welker?
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay.
Him and Marcus Jordan were hanging out.
Oh. Okay, what do you got?
The Utah Hockey Club debuts tonight. Do they win their opener?
Puck drops. They're favored. I think they're like minus 160 against the Chicago Blackhawks.
Ugh.
Yeah. So, I mean, did they come out? First of all, let's just from now on, I'm making a statement. We're calling them the Yeti on the show from now on. I'm not calling them the Utah Hockey
Have they
Club.
followed up at all with what the...
No, I think they just want to suck the merchandise on the Utah, and then they'll come out with the Yeti or the Mammoth or the Blizzard. Ann still wants Blizzard, and then she wants the DQ Arena. Yeah. She's got a whole plan. But I say tonight, that's their first game. What do you think?
They're going to be at home. It's going to be a good crowd.
The crowd's going to be ridiculous.
Still no good. We'll see. I think this is one of those games. The Golden Knights broke the expansion process for all these other teams.
You get Marc-Andre Fleury though, but that helps. But yeah, they did by doing so well.
By doing so well, they adjusted the new draft process when a new team comes in the expansion draft. So while Utah may not be good this year overall, I think they're going to have a good showing tonight against. I think they gave them Chicago game one for a purpose. Give them
probably.
a chance.
Yeah,
you give them like the Capitals or the Panthers or somebody game one, really suck the air out of them. Yeah.
But have you seen the stadium they're playing in?
Yeah.
That there's some seats that you can't see the goal.
Yeah.
That you're sitting. So you're like up high and the goal is underneath. So you can only really see 3/4 of the ice.
Which is funny because they've played a lot of hockey in that arena in the past.
It's partial view.
Yeah. There's a whole guy on Twitter that does that, by the way.
He's great.
College football, NFL.
Tours?
Yeah,
he's great.
But no, it's a different guy. We're thinking of the G-Fed. This guy goes. It's called obstructed
the
views.
bad seats. Yeah.
He'll literally go and like post a picture of himself next to like a concrete wall.
Yeah.
And he's like, I paid $100 for this.
Which I didn't know, and you would never think this. I mean, Fenway has that.
Oh, plenty.
PNC Park has one seat in the upper deck that is behind a girder, and a woman bought the ticket for like a fireworks night. And that was the only ticket she could get. And she sat there and made a big dust up on social media, and they gave her tickets to an upcoming game. I was not aware of this.
Is it like right behind home plate, kind of on the press box?
It's up top. It's up. Yeah.
Well, that's the highest upper deck outside of Washington in baseball.
We'll look it up after the show. But yes, I did not. I'm like, PNC, come on, no way.
Well, that's why they make on the websites now, you can look at the view you're going to have before you buy the ticket.
Right. I'm like,
more often than not.
Or what's the one that
literally all of them have
I
it now.
almost said something wrong there.
A thick pick.
All right, there, thick pick. All right, this is from Keith, I'm assuming. Which baseball postseason series has been your favorite this year so far?
Ooh.
I have watched them all.
I might have to say Philly and the Mets.
Yeah, the energy. I mean, they're so good. I was almost going to say for a second Detroit and Cleveland has been amazing with Scoop. The pitching duel yesterday was phenomenal, and then the 3-run banger by Carpenter was amazing. They've all been good. Royals and Yankees.
Yeah.
I've liked them all. Again, we ranked postseasons, and I put Major League Baseball at the top. Hockey's so good.
Yeah.
And then football, then NBA doesn't matter. But that would, if I had to pick Phillies, Mets, maybe. Yeah. And it's going to be so rowdy there.
Oh God.
That's going to be so good. That game's at 108, right?
208.
208.
208. So about an hour and a half. I know Jeff Parles is getting his kung fu ready to fight off all the Philly fans.
Is he there with Grimace? We need to know if Grimace is in the house.
Jeff needs a picture with Grimace. That's what we need.
Get a picture with Grimace. All right. Was this mine or yours?
Either or.
Okay. So we have the graphic up there, too. This will work out perfect. Speaking of New York and the Mets and Jeff's favorite teams, we'll talk about the Jets. Robert Saleh was fired. 2-3. Fired after the London game, which is becoming a trend. 3 coaches have got fired. He got fired. Here's the one thing that a lot of people are talking about on the internet. He was escorted out by security and not allowed to say goodbye to the team. Adam Gase was fired. They didn't do that. So maybe they thought this was much more of a surprise, that maybe he was going to react. He seems like a pretty level-headed guy. Really kind of brutal. But again, Woody Johnson, this GM of the Jets, which we saw on Hard Knocks last year. He's not the brightest bulb. Fans hate him. But firing him after a 2-3 start, is Aaron Rodgers behind it? I don't know. But he was escorted out by security.
I mean, I made this graphic. If you look in the bottom left, I think he was. He's
bottom left, I see you.
No, that's Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Oh, no. Well, on the monitor. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, there's Aaron Rodgers. Yes. What
He's like
does
a
it
ghost
say?
in the corner. Nothing. It's just him staring on and smiling.
With that creepy smile that he has. I mean, everyone said, remember the push,
Yeah.
we didn't want to hug. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers is the guy they're listening to, it seems like.
Which I was joking with Ann before the show. I to make that graphic.
Never joke with Ann before the show, please. She has to stay focused.
I searched Aaron Rodgers smiling just for that picture. It
Did
took
you put
about
creepy smile?
No, that's just his smile. It took about 4 scrolls
just to
of
find
the
a
thing
smile.
to find one of him on the Jets smiling. Plenty of him smiling in Green Bay. He won a Super Bowl. But yeah, a little harder to find him smiling in a Jets uniform.
You had to bring up he won a Super Bowl in Green Bay, didn't you?
This is a long time ago.
Who did he beat?
Kind of
The
piggybacking
Steelers.
off of this, Aaron Rodgers probably to blame for this as far as on the field, because the Jets have had a tremendous defense over the last couple of years, but just anemic offensively.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, oh, last year, it's going to be just fine once we get Aaron Rodgers back.
right.
It's going to be just fine. Well, the discount double check may need to go on Aaron Rodgers here. We have this one ready, too.
Yeah?
Through week 5 of last year and through week 5 of this year, the Jets have scored the exact same amount of points.
I saw that. Or yeah look at that.
They scored 93 points. Keep in mind, they scored, I think it was 5 defensive touchdowns in the first 5 weeks last
Yeah.
year. They don't have that this year.
And is it Paul Hackett, right? Is
Yep.
the offensive coordinator who they say might get demoted if they don't have a good showing this week. They're playing Monday night. Is it in Buffalo? No, it's at Jets. It's at Jets. That's going to be a huge rating game. Bills coming off that boneheaded loss to the Texans.
Yeah,
where they
what
kinda
are they
didn't-
doing with the clock management?
The clock management was horrible. And then the Jets with the new coach.
Yeah.
Maybe ABC. Who does it Monday Night Football? No, it's not ABC.
Yeah, ESPN.
ABC hasn't done Monday Night Football in 20 years. Yeah, that was Ricky or Harvard Cosell. Anyway, that's going to be a great game. Bills are favored by 2. Do you
Yeah.
see that line moving? Probably not.
Maybe a little bit. I see it getting a little bigger. I was also laughing at the pictures of Aaron Rodgers. I had fun putting that one together.
Oh, wait.
Looked like he got shot. He looked like somebody equated it, if you ever played or seen the game Fortnite, when he's crawling at the top. When you get
No.
you don't get killed immediately. You kind of like have to crawl around for a little bit, and then your teammate can revive you. But it looks just like that.
Discount double check on Rodgers.
Yeah.
All right, and by the way, the game in London this week. It's the Bears in Jacksonville. So Doug Peterson could be fired after it could be
next.
another thing where you get fired in London. Matt Eberflus, who knows?
Yeah.
All right, you heard the jingle. It's 12:36 and 42 seconds. Still 12:36. Matt, what is your pick of the day for picks at 12:36?
I just have the one.
Just one.
Oh, it's on the gridiron. A little Tuesday night football, baby. We've got football, by the way, every single day through Thanksgiving at least.
Well, it started 55 days last week, I think, or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, I remember Jeff talking about that last year. By the way, tomorrow is
Yeah.
our 1-year anniversary of doing Punchlines. It'll
Wow.
be 1 year ago that we started this journey. But what? We're season 2. We had to start season 2, whole new revamp set. When is the set coming in? 2 weeks. Okay, we've talked about we're having a set built. It's being built. It's done being built. Ann's overseeing this, and we just keep hearing. It's a typical contractor. When's it coming in? 2 weeks. Felt. There's no felt around here at South Point. I can see there's felt. I got a strip of felt right here. I can just rip that off right now with a seam cutter.
Make it happen.
I can give me a bottle of that City Light Shines whiskey and some scissors.
Yeah.
They hide the scissors from me on this show.
We'll fill it with iced tea and just go crazy.
But thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, your pick of the day.
I got Liberty opened at 18.
Oh, you're going college football.
I am
tonight.
going college football. Liberty hosting Florida International. Pitbull's team, which I love the sponsorship that he's been doing for them, Dale.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, Liberty's. I'm seeing down to like 16. Some money's coming in on Florida
It was
International.
18, right?
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
opened
said, right.
18. I'm seeing it down to like 16 and a half. Liberty hasn't covered a spread yet this year, but I think this is the game. They were off last week after they were rained out at App State. They canceled that game because of the first of now 2 hurricanes that's going to hit the whole
App
East
State,
Coast.
your alma mater.
Yep. Shout out to everybody in Boone. I know they're still kind of picking up the pieces
Yeah.
from the first hurricane. I think they're going to be safe from the second one, which
Yeah.
is just crazy. But I'm going Liberty. I think that they finally have to they have the college football playoff in sight. If they can win all their games with the on paper easiest schedule in the country,
Really?
if they can win all their games and win Conference USA, they will likely be one of 2, maybe 3 teams considered for that group of 5 bid. for that last spot in the college football playoff. So that's all of a sudden in view.
Wow.
More and more group of 5 teams are falling, especially ones that were going to be considered for the at-large berth. So I think Liberty's got the end, not the end in sight, but they have that mission in mind, and it really,
they have a goal.
Against inferior opponents, can really have one laser track focus onto that goal.
And maybe they play Pitt in the national championship.
Hopefully. But with the line going away from them, I'm going to take Liberty. Get this one as soon as you can. It starts at 4 o'clock here on the West Coast CBS Sports Network. I think that line is going to swing back the other way. So
such a good sports watching day. You got football and baseball and hockey.
Yeah.
And the NBA. When does the NBA start? It starts
They're in the
soon,
preseason.
Too.
Yep.
In 2 weeks?
Long preseason. Long.
What? With the desk.
That's what we're waiting on. That's what we were waiting for.
We're waiting on. There you go. Opening night for the NBA. Yeah. We will be at a new desk. Is Jeff,
Book it.
Do we have Jeff? All right. All right. Yesterday I went 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. I had this is my chucker bet. B-Town Dummy, if you're watching. I had Derek Carr over, longest completion, 37 yards, hit early, so that was good. I also bet, I didn't give it, we talked about it, Alex and I and Ryan, we had over Travis Kelce. It was 5.5 catches, 58 yards. He had that by halftime pretty much.
Yeah.
So I hit that, and I took in baseball, I had Scooble. But, I mean, I thought when it was 0-0 and it was going to get to the bullpens, I was like, okay, I'm not going to win this game, but, it looked good. That's one of the that's a moment in Detroit Tigers history right there.
Absolutely.
He crushed that ball.
They say Jesus was a carpenter, but I think there's a new one.
All right, so today, here we go. Let's see what I got today. Francisco Lindor over 1.5 total bases.
Okay.
As Lindor goes, so do the Mets. I think he's going to be fired up at home. His homer bet is plus 375, which I think was the lowest. So I didn't want to do that, but I can see him getting a double. I can see a couple singles. Maybe it's a banger. Maybe he gets a 3-bagger. But I like Lindor over 1.5 total bases. And I think what's the over/under on grimace outfits in the stadium?
You're talking about within the Parles party or with the whole stadium?
Within the Parles party alone, within the entire stadium, how many grimace images will show up?
Images or people in outfits?
Both, like on posters and in costume.
I don't know if we could set a line high enough. I'll say like 20.5.
Oh, I was thinking 17.
Okay.
I think a lot of grimaces. And the weather, is it chilly there? Jeff looked like he was pretty bundled up. Yeah, Jeff looked pretty bundled up. He didn't have a South Point golf shirt on, so that's how I know it's warm.
Yep.
He had a Mets hoodie on.
I'm seeing 92 degrees outside here.
One of the Punch Bowl's questions was, how many more 100-degree days do I have to endure here?
Remember when October was cold?
I even in L.A., I remember, and you'd have to put a jacket on.
A light quarter zip?
3/4 zip, 1/4 zip. So anyway, I'm going with the Francisco Lindor over 1.5 total bases. We also have a bonus pick. This is a real life Chalk the Cat from our That's Crazy segment.
Oh yeah,
his cat has a pick on the Phillies Mets. It's not a very long clip, but here it is.
Yeah, cat knocks hat.
Here we go, and goodbye Mets. All right,
and he's with the Phillies.
There you go.
This cat's got to be from Eastern Pennsylvania.
Sorry, Jeff Parles. I apologize, but it looks like the Phillies are going to win that game according to that cat. And on Friday, by the way, we're going to check back in with that little girl, Finley, who gives her NFL picks, and she's been doing pretty well. Have you seen this little girl? On? She just grabs the 2 helmets, and she just says Panthers. She picks winners.
It's almost like when you're doing the NCAA bracket competition with your little cousin, and she wins it every year, just picking off the mascots.
Colored
or maybe
uniforms.
that's just a personal example. We have one on my mom's side of the family where my youngest girl cousin wins like every other year. And meanwhile, me and both my brothers who all work in sports, and my cousin who also works in sports in San Francisco, come in last.
Nope. I know that all too well. All right, fantasy update. Sean and I are in first place. I'm only going to mention that when I'm doing well.
That's all right. I beat Caden without setting a lineup.
You beat Caden. Caden then.
Jalen Warren.
What's that? Yeah, Jalen Warren's got to come back, by the way.
Yeah.
Steelers need him.
I don't need him, apparently.
Yeah, you're doing fine. All right, you want to sound the horn?
Sound the horn.
Sound the horn, and it's time for Post and Punchlines.
The best my voice has sounded in days.
I know. I just have this cold and the throat. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I went to a concert.
Well, I did too. Fremont Street packed like this.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where I got my germs.
Reggae Rise Up.
Oh, you were there? That's why I paid so much for an Uber.
Yeah.
God, because I couldn't find an Uber or Lyft after the show.
That's why I waited till 3 a.m. to get an Uber, and it wasn't any cheaper. I thought waiting a couple hours would make it cheaper. It didn't. I just lost money gambling.
I paid $40.
I think I paid
$40.
I paid about that, but I paid more than that because I was sitting there playing Fortune Cup for 2 hours.
Fortune Cup? Where? At the D?
At the D.
Why did we not meet? I was down there playing Fortune Cup. And Sigma.
I shouldn't have had a cell phone at that point anyway, so.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got some posts and punchlines. Which one are we starting off with?
We'll start out with the Seattle Seahawks and Jackson Smith and Jigbo with the fake out.
Now, I don't think anyone was on this on Sunday. You didn't see this in the highlights. Do you need the all 12 or
the all
22?
Yeah.
The all 22 to actually see this. This guy who played at Ohio State. Now, he's at the bottom of your screen here.
Look at the defenders.
So Geno Smith is scrambling for a long run, but he acts like he's getting a ball thrown to him. So watch the fake out. So look, the two DBs are like,
he took a dive. The DB dove at him.
That seems to be like the kind of play that the coach shows in the meetings and goes, all right, this is how you win ball games.
Absolutely bananas, yeah.
And by the way, they lost that game to the Giants.
How?
That was my money line parlay was the Steelers, the Raiders, and Seattle at home against the Giants.
Oh.
I went 0-3. I should be one of those guys who bets the complete opposite parlay as well.
I know the Giants in a lot of Survivor contests, or the Seahawks rather, were one of the most picked teams of the week.
Do we know how the Circus doing? Can we check to see? How
I know they were the number one most picked team of the week there.
Please, because it started at $14,000 entry. The winner gets $14 million. Immediately, week one, everyone had the Bengals out, and then the Cowboys lost a game to the. What was that last year? I don't remember, but Baltimore lost to somebody early on. And anyway, there's like under 400 or 500 left.
The percentage of teams in at this point compared to years past is minimal.
No, it's incredible.
All right, so I'm looking, nothing as of recently, but the Seahawks were picked by a third of the teams this week. Jeez. The 49ers were picked by 18 of them.
And by the way, they deserve to lose because Arizona, it's a divisional game. They always play them well. Yep. Arizona always plays them tight. And the line was like 7, and I took Arizona, and they won.
There were 6 people that picked the Patriots. I'm sorry.
Against
the Dolphins.
Against the Dolphins. Yeah, look, the Dolphins are bad, but they're not Patriots bad.
See, now I'm all for. So there were 479 going into the week.
Yeah. Okay, and what's left? Do we know? Well, if a third, I mean, we'd 60 at Seahawks. So take it
160.
So take it down to the low 3.
33% gone. This is us trying to do math here.
So that's low 300s.
All right, here we go. 227 entries
left,
including. This was before last night's game. There were 16 on the Chiefs and 6 on the Steelers.
Or on the Saints, you mean? Or on the Steelers?
No, there were 16 that were on the Chiefs.
So it's under 200. It's around 200.
There's about 200 people left.
86 were on the 49ers.
Winner take all prize is $14.2 million. Current implied value per entry $62,000. So your implied value, you've already made your money and then some.
Now, those 200 people should just get together and be like, all right, look, let's just split it.
Now, what? Yeah, I'd love to get Chris and Vinny's opinion on this as far as the Survivor contest in general. When do you start to discuss a chop?
Yeah.
As far as what is the number of people remaining where that really
10,
becomes
20?
When there's 200 people, it's like, yeah, good luck, buddy.
I would say 14 because then you can be like, hey, we each get a milli. 227. Jack A. 220. Room 227. Jack A. These are old TV shows in Leanne, and I know. All right. So anyway, that's crazy.
But yeah, that
14 million.
I don't know if I know it happens, but I don't know if I've seen it laid out like that with Jackson Smith and Jigba with the fake. Taking 2 defenders with him, making one of them dive. I mean, you have to guide him with your eyes in that situation. Give him the Oscar.
Well, when we played second base, you do that where you get your eyes big, right? You act like you're getting a flip, and the guy slide.
Oh, I got kicked out of a game one time for
doing that.
No, a guy was stealing second base, and a ball got by our catcher or something, and I faked the tag and everything. Yeah. I put the glove on the bag, and the kid slid and got up and may or may not have hurt himself, and the ump didn't like that.
Oh, well, it's his own fault for not learning how to slide.
Exactly.
All right, what do we have next in posts?
Tell that to my parents. Next up, we've got the most famous wag that exists.
I guess.
Wag, wife and girlfriend.
So Taylor Swift was at the game last night.
This one was all you, by the way. I appreciate the makeup, but you really wanted to get this one in.
Well, I mean, this is the reason. Okay, so what she did was she took her freckles and she put glitter on her freckles. This is now almost sold out on Amazon for the same exact thing. So every girl is doing this. By the way, Amazon Prime Days.
I was just about to say that. Today and tomorrow.
Every time you open up Amazon, it's like Prime 8th and 9th, and I'm like, oh,
I
I'll
may or
hold
may
off
not
on
have
deodorant.
may or may not have already bought something today.
So I'll be perusing Amazon later for dog treats or something. But anyway, so these are
makeup glitter.
Yeah, and if she timed it with Prime Day and she gets a chunk, I don't know. But Taylor Swift, she had these freckles, this glitter freckles on. She didn't show up to Travis Kelce's 35th birthday car jam over the weekend. Brittany Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes were there. A lot of rappers were there. Big party. She didn't show up to that, but she was at the game last night.
She's a little busy. She's got more going on than Brittany Mahomes does.
She does. She a little bit.
Nothing. Actually,
Yeah?
I don't have a graphic for this,
Okay.
but I think it was E Network said that they're going to do a reality show about the Chiefs' wags, the wives and girlfriends.
No.
And I saw it exactly.
No.
That was a lot of people's reactions because I saw people responding on Twitter and go, you know what? Maybe the Patriots dynasty wasn't that bad.
And by the way, the title of this, the Kansas City Cheeks instead of Chiefs.
I like that.
No? Okay.
I like it.
No, too late.
Not quite Sandy Cheeks, but
They, by the way, Travis Kelce, biggest game of the year.
yep.
She was there. Big game. Overs hit. Thank you very
I
much.
saw she's now. God, I should have saved this. I think the games that she has attended in
Yeah,
person, the
the
Chiefs are I think
record-
13-3.
They do pretty well.
With a
Plus the Super
really
Bowl.
solid ATS record. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's starting. She has another leg of her tour coming up, so she'll be. I don't know how many more games she's coming back. I don't really know the Taylor Swift schedules. Anyone, Keith? I know
I'm
you're
surprised.
You're probably
So
on
what
that.
you're telling me is that Travis is going to keep flying to like Buenos Aires during their bye weeks, and he'll be in Bucharest and
in a goofy bucket hat, singing.
Reykjavik all over the place, and then he'll fly back and still go for like 480 and a touchdown.
Let's see. Keith Lyall, 221 left in the Circus Survivor pool. JR said no Sigma Derby. Oh, I played Sigma Derby. And it's true. If you win the $14 million at the Circa, you get it in quarters to go over and play
Oh, God.
over at the D. You can
We
just
had
put
this
14
discussion
million.
last week.
What was that?
I like Fortune Cup because
them both.
it's faster. The games you
It
can
is
do
fast.
more of them. You can fly through more of them. I just play the Quinellas anyway.
Oh, do you really?
Just
Go for long shots?
I actually, you know what? I will say I generally have luck
Right. Okay.
on that game. Sigma Derby, the process of the quarters takes too long. I like it every now and then.
Process of the quarters
You got to go. You
takes
put it in the
too
machine.
long.
You get the
Good
thing.
night, everybody. We'll see you.
The real
That with
process.
sincerity. Putting quarters in.
No.
You didn't play Pac-Man.
No, you got to
Come
go
back
get.
to my
You got to
day.
go to the change machine and
It's
get the
right
quarters.
There. It's 4 steps away.
Yeah, but that's like 30 steps, and you got to bob and weave through all the drunkards, and then you got to wait a half hour for a seat. And the
You do
Fortune
have
Cup
to
is
wait.
within view.
That's true.
And you can
I
just
know.
put your cash in there.
So the bet Courtney does is there's that bet that you put in for $1, the side bet.
Yeah.
And you can get 6 horses in a row, 5, 4, 3.
Yeah.
So I sat down. She hit $50, got 3 horses right away. But is it once or twice? I can't remember. She's hit the $1,000.
Oh my God!
Hit it for $1,000. We sat down one hand. She one race. She put that extra dollar bet, which I always tease sucker
Oh my
bets.
God,
Like playing
yeah, it
blackjack.
is.
You're
It
not supposed to
is,
do
yeah.
these. She does. I'm like, okay, you're wasting money. 1,000. It was 1,100. I just put $100 in. $1,125. We cashed out. Boom.
Holy
Gone.
crap!
This was like last summer.
I kind of unrelated was at the gas station the other day getting some stuff, and it had the video poker machine right there.
Right, but do you have to deal with quarters there?
Not there,
Okay.
no. But no, I've not ever once gambled at a gas station. I'm just gonna put that out there.
Okay.
But I'm sitting there, it's just the empty store. Guy goes, "Hey, are you a gambler, man?" And I was like, every now and then.
Yeah.
I had no. I was like,
Yeah.
"What's going on?" He goes, "Go look at that first machine." Lady went in, put $20 in, second pull. That's what she won. She was playing $2 denomination,
Yeah.
4 per hand. So she's playing $8 hands. He said the second hand on a $20, $8,000
Wow.
on a royal flush.
There you go.
He said she got it and got the hell out of there.
I hope she. He's like,
Yeah.
oh no, she's in back.
I'm gonna play it down to 5,000 here, guys.
We don't know. So it's weird. She just disappeared. I'm always what's that?
Yeah.
I'm always puzzled when you go to the supermarkets here in Vegas and
Yeah.
there's the machines.
Apparently they are pretty loose.
I can't do it. Well, you don't have to do the quarters. All right, let's do our final post. Did we get any other videos from Jeff Parles? Damn it, Jeff.
Lazy.
He's already inside. He's enjoying the game. That's fine. We got one video from Jeff. We're happy. What's that? 3
Yeah.
sheets.
Well, if we get one later, we should
What's
put
he
it
drinking?
on
Those
social.
Those
Yeah.
Trulies. They like those Trulies or those Nutries or whatever the hell those. Those
Seltzers.
seltzers. Yeah, they're big seltzer.
Big seltzer
He and
guy.
Alex love the seltzer. All right, listen, it wouldn't be a show if we didn't mention Caitlin
Of
Clark.
course.
My friend Frank Murgy, who will be on the show Thursday. Frank Murgy's coming in. We're going to talk PGA. We're going to talk F1 sports with him. Also, comedian Michael Oldroyd, who went to Mizzou with when Jeff Parles was there, played football, and has a ring from playing in the Cotton Bowl. Another comedian from Mizzou will be here on Friday with Jeff Parles if he makes it back. Do we know that Jeff? When is Jeff scheduled to
Does
come
he
back?
plan to come back? Yeah.
Okay.
What happened to Mizzou this weekend?
I forget. Did they lose?
They got killed
Oh,
at
they
home
lost.
by
Yeah,
Texas
that's
A&M.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Caitlin Clark, our girl Caitlin Clark, CC under par. So Caitlin Clark has agreed to play in this, and it's hard for me to read, Ann. It says...
it's a Women's Leadership Summit.
There you go.
It's for Annika Sorenstam.
Annika Sorenstam, yeah.
She's also going to play in a Wednesday Pro-Am sponsored by Gamebridge. Got to get the sponsor hitting
Please
there.
do.
I've heard from people that she's actually a good golfer. I mean, she's a tremendous athlete.
I mean, look at the follow through. Look at the ending. That's a pretty good follow through.
Look at that trash talk on the top right. She's got that form down already.
What? You know she's gonna be good. So listen, my buddy's like, all right, we need like one of those matches where she plays Steph Curry and Charles Barkley,
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark, and who's the other?
Annika Sorenstam. There you go.
No, Annika or the other Charlie. Who's the girl?
Charlie Huff.
Charlie, yeah, that's the other girl,
Yeah.
right? She's cutie, yeah. So that's who he proposed.
Now she chain smoked cigarettes. You think Caitlin would stand
Oh
away
my
from
God.
her?
We have shown her smoking
She
cigarettes,
went
man.
away because she got famous for smoking.
Yeah, we showed it.
And she's actually a really good golfer,
Yeah.
too. But then she went to vaping. Sure, there was like a period where she was like, yeah, I gave up smoking, vaping's better. And then like she started playing badly. I swear to God, this was all this summer, and she started playing badly. So now she's back on the darts.
This is the John Daly golf education right there. Anyway, CC's going to play golf. Will we have footage of it? Oh, you bet ya.
You darn tootin'.
And that's in November, I believe. She's playing golf.
Next month, yep.
Next month. Next month is November.
That
Wait,
is
what?
all of a sudden.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
All right. That's it for post. That's it. Oh wait.
Oh, those were in there from yesterday. We could show
Show
Luka
the Shaq one.
The Shaq one.
Okay. So Shaquille O'Neal wanted to see how long it would take for him to walk around. I think he's in Toronto, right? He's somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, you know what? I saw this, and I've seen this with other athletes. Like I
Right.
saw one with Matt Ryan at the Falcons team store back in the day, and it's like, okay, he could pass.
Right.
You see Shaq walking around.
Yeah.
He's 7
So,
feet 2
all right,
inches
here we
tall.
go. Shaq tries to go. Crank up the volume if you can, please, Dog. All right, so he's crossing the street. How long will it take? Over-under's, what, a minute?
I could probably see this view and be like, oh my God, that's Shaq.
I know. So there's no people around. So here's the first two to pass Shaquille O'Neal. What up, Shaq? What up, Shaq? He literally, the first dude that sees him. What up, Shaq?
No, you can't do that. He got an image to uphold.
Oh my God. He's got an image to uphold.
I mean, by the way, this is a guy I've never met. Have you met him?
Crap game, yeah.
At a crap game? Here, jump in on the mic, Keith, wait.
How did you know that it was him, Keith?
Yeah.
He was on a crap game, and he came in, and I said, oh my God, you're like an Eclipse.
Yeah.
Like that should be your new nickname. And
Yeah.
I just called him Eclipse the whole
Right.
time. Yeah, but he was on the crap game.
And how'd he do?
Like that.
He was playing the field. He wasn't betting heavy. He was playing like 25
The
or
fact
50
that you
bucks.
remember every detail of every celebrity
he was betting
athlete.
for 25, 50 bucks, and that was the first time. That was at Monte Carlo, and then I saw him when I was working at the Venetian. And he came again to the table. I was like, "Oh, it's the Eclipse is back!" And he's like, "Oh shit, that was you."
Keith just swore on the show, ladies and gentlemen. I
Yeah,
love it.
put me
But
on the
but he's paraphrasing Shaquille O'Neal. But I love that guy. Just why? Hey, what's up, Shaq?
Hey, what up, Shaq?
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about living in Vegas is like that's very much an interaction that could happen anywhere
Totally.
in Vegas.
And Shaquille O'Neal, this guy, he's done so much good. I
Yeah.
mean, you see him when he goes to Walmart. He has the biggest receipt in Walmart history, he
Yeah.
says, right? Like 80 grand.
Well, he's got a long-standing relationship with Walmart because of his
Yeah.
shoe brand.
Oh, okay.
From
there
back
you
in the
go.
day. So he said that when he was playing, he did his own shoe brand, and he had to deal with Reebok, he had to deal with Nike. They wanted to do his like a signature shoe,
Right.
And have it be really expensive. But
Yep.
he said that because he grew up so poor
Yep.
that he wanted
Good
to make
dude.
them. I think they were like $30 a pair.
Unbelievable.
And
Yeah,
they were like
that's right.
the Shaq brand. But he said because of that, and he also had some terrible financial decisions. Right when he got drafted, he blew through almost his entire signing bonus
Wow.
right away, and he had some financial advisor who's now still in his life say, hey, you really got to get your act together.
Jeez.
That's why you see him
Well, he owns,
doing Papa John's.
Yeah,
you see him
he
doing
owns like 1,000 Papa John's and
yeah.
raising cane. He owns everything.
He's with like Office Max. You see him like
Yeah.
demoing printers.
And his deal is if he does an ad for a company, he has to get part ownership.
Yeah,
I think like General Car Insurance.
Car Insurance.
Right, like that used to be that cartoon. Oh, get the General. And now it's like
great little
Shaquille
rate and get
O'Neal.
online.
What's that? Yeah, get a great little rate.
They were the ones.
Watch a lot of daytime TV.
No one else would give him car insurance, but the general would. And so he said, if I ever do anything, if I ever make it, I'm gonna do ads for
Is that
those
why?
guys.
That's
That's
awesome.
exactly why. Yeah.
Gotta love Shaquille. What was the other one you had in the computer? I don't know.
Luca. I can set this one up.
I
if
don't
you
know
want.
this one.
So
All right.
Luca,
Didn't watch it all the way through.
no.
I did not see this one.
NBA preseason getting ready. Let's just show the clip.
Excuse
Just
me.
know that there's $100,000 on the line. Bang.
Wait, what?
Derek Lively, who you see walking behind him. I don't know how serious he was.
This just happened?
Yeah. This was last night.
Okay.
Yeah, so he said 100 grand that you won't make it.
Are you serious?
And he did.
How did we not lead with this?
So someone said, how much did Lively just lose to Luka? Because he was upset. And then Luka responded to that guy and said 100K.
Oh, my God.
Which to those guys is like you and me betting a 50.
That's just per diem.
Yeah,
right.
that's like you and me. Hey, I'll bet you $20 that you won't throw this crumpled up paper at the guy behind us.
Oh, my God. That was tremendous. All right. A lot of fun today on the show. Thank you, Matt Neverett.
Yep.
Matt, what are you up to? What are you the rest of the week? What are you doing?
Hanging out today. I'll be here tomorrow. UNLV Barry Odom Coaches Show tomorrow night. UNLV takes on Utah State in Logan on Friday night.
Now, when's that Hawaii game?
November 8th. Not that I'm counting.
It's the one you can't wait for.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Lyle, thank you for contributing as always. Vince and Drew Dog behind the glass, and as always, and Jeff Parles. I need to check in.
Our Mets correspondent.
Jeff Parles not on. We're checking with Jeff Parles. He's not on. He's
Check
gone.
South Point Studios on social.
All right, yeah. And check Jeff Parles at Jeff Parles on social media. I'm sure he'll post some stuff. He always gives really sharp, clever stuff about games he's at. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Alex White will be here on Wednesday. Thank you for watching Punchlines. Line stands for Live in Nevada. Every show.